1, 2, 3, 4. Beloved community, we gather in unity, all are welcome here, all are blessed and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community. Won't you join us, beloved community? Beloved community, we gather in unity, all are welcome here, all are best and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community. Doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what you've undone, all that matters is you're here now. Keep an open heart, let Spirit work it out. Beloved community, we gather in unity, all are welcome here, all are best and a blessing to be. Discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community. Doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what you've undone, all that matters is you're here now. Keep an open heart, let Spirit work it out. Beloved community, we gather in unity, all are welcome here, all are best and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community, uncovering who we are in our beloved community.
Good morning, and welcome to our beloved community, the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa. I'm Nancy Reynolds, a member of the center and former trustee. Happy to be sharing this morning with all of you, and happy to be sharing it with our wonderful musicians and singers. Shall we show them some more love? Today is the second week in our series exploring Native American wisdom traditions. Our guide continues to be Michael Garrett, a contemporary Cherokee teacher and author. In his book, Walking on the Wind, Garrett returns again and again to the idea that all things are connected. And harmony comes from recognizing our place within this greater circle of life. He describes this circle as honoring all that is, all that has ever been, and all that will ever be. Harmony, he writes, means matching the rhythm of that larger reality. At the center, we work toward tuning into the wisdom of life around and within us through our vision and 5 core spiritual practices. Would you please read our vision with me? The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching, Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. And would you please join me in reading our core spiritual practices? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, and spiritual circulation. Thank you. We use flowers in our community to send messages of love and appreciation to each other. This beautiful flower arrangement here today is dedicated to Bob Hart in gratitude for the beauty he has brought into our social hall through the rotating art displays. The center's vision speaks of beauty, art, and aesthetics as expressions of the divine made visible. Bob has taken that vision and given it hands and feet. Through his organizing spirit, our walls have become a gallery of creativity offered by volunteers and artists in our community who might never otherwise have been able to share their work with us. Thank you, Bob, for creating. Thank you, Bob, for creating a living, changing expression of the artistic spirit that moves through this community. Yeah. I would now like to extend an extra warm welcome to our first-time visitors. First-time visitors, if you would, stand as you're able or simply raise your hand. We would like to bring you a welcome packet and a flower as a token of our appreciation that you're with us today. And if you're watching online, welcome to you also. We'd love for you to leave a comment so that we know that you're here. Thanks for being with us. I trust that somewhere between the music, the meditation, the prayer, the practices, and the message from Reverend Russ, each of us will find exactly what we're ready for the next step of our spiritual journey. Again, welcome. Thank you for being here this morning. Now let's enjoy this next song, which will lead us into a time of silent contemplation and prayer.
Separate us, we are one. We are one. We are one. Nothing can separate us, we are one. All nations on the earth, all life upon the planet, nothing can separate us, we are one. We are one. We are one. Nothing can separate us, we are one. We are one. We are one. Nothing can separate us, we are one.
there is only one, and that one is present right here, right now. It is wholeness, it is harmony, it is peace. It is the circle of life unfolding in every part of creation, everywhere. There is not a particle anywhere that does not contain this spirit. So that means that that spirit is in me. It is in everyone here. It is in everyone and everything, everywhere, just waiting for us to notice its magnificence. And so I know that that balance and harmony is unfolding right here, right now, in this service, in the message, in the music, in all of the participants, all of our congregants and staff, our children, our volunteers, everyone expressing the harmony, balance, and beauty of spirit right here, right now. And so I just allow that sense of balance and peace to fill me, and know that as I am here speaking this word into the law, it is unfolding as I speak. And so I let it be with love and gratitude. And together we say, and so it is. Good morning. I'm Anne Marie Cheney. I'm a prayer practitioner and former board member. Would you please read with me our affirmation? I walk gently on the earth, guided by spirit in all things, and so it is.
Child of this universe, the ocean dances at my feet. The wind plays a melody through my hair. I am loved at every turn. I am kissed by Mother Earth. I am a child of this universe. The sun warms me in its embrace. The stars have aligned for me in the sky. I am honored by all life. I am held by Father Time. Every blade of grass, every shaking leaf on a tree, every mountain top sings of the glory of God moving through me. I am a child of this universe. Through my breath, all of life can breathe. I plant the seeds with my every dreams. I can love at every turn. Give a kiss to Mother Earth. Yes, I am a child of this universe. I greet the God in each face. I am a channel for peace to flow. Oh, I honor all of life. Yes, I'm one with Father Time. To every blade of grass, to every shaking leaf on a tree, to every mountain top, sing of the glory of God moving through me, moving through you, moving through us.
Sophia Candler, everyone. Thank you for that beautiful music, and good morning, everyone. I'm back from my vacation. All right. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Last week, I was out hiking on the Chilnualna Falls Trail in Yosemite National Park. And over the course of 2.5 heat-filled, calorie-burning hours, I climbed the flower-painted switchbacks on up, and at one point I looked over my right shoulder, and there it was. The view of the South Yosemite Mountains framed by this bright blue sky and a few fluffy clouds floating by. And it took my breath away. And I thought to myself, this truly is one of the hidden gems of Yosemite. But I told myself that I had to focus. I had to keep going because each step was taking me closer to my destination, which is the upper Chilnualna Falls, the very top, and I was really excited to get there. And as I was approaching the waterfall's massive rock face, I saw the water falling over it dramatically into the valley below. And I stopped again, and I stared with awe. And that rock face had been carved over thousands of years. And as I looked at it, I could see circles of life everywhere. The rivers and the lakes evaporate, and that water turns into clouds, and those clouds rain, and pretty soon the seasons change, and that rain turns into snow. And the snow-topped mountains melt in springtime, and the cycle begins all over again. I saw more circles, shorter cycles of life, and the wildflowers swaying in the breeze, the fish in the swimming holes along the trail, the bees and the butterflies riding on the wind carrying nectar and pollen, the tall sequoias stretching their branches high, and the tiny saplings below them. I noticed the dead trees and the new life that found a way to grow with them. I felt those circles of life as I cooled my feet in the mountain water at the top of the falls. And oh boy, there's nothing quite like dipping your sore feet in an ice-cold mountain stream after a long hike. I even felt the circle of life when a big crow sneakily stole a package of gummy candy out of my backpack. Everywhere I looked, I saw the circle of life. And seeing those circles filled me with a sense of peace and harmony and vitality. Have you ever noticed how life is filled with circles? Now, I'm not talking about physical circles, though there are, of course, many of those. I'm talking about how the movement in life tends to be circular. Now, I saw this firsthand on my vacation in Yosemite, and that prepared me today to speak on our topic, because this month we are exploring Native American wisdom traditions. And today we're going to talk about those circles and cycles of life and how we can step in harmony with them. You heard from Dr. Edward last week about the challenges in doing justice to Native American wisdom traditions. popular culture has tried to roll all these traditions into a single set of common beliefs, but the reality is that there are 575 federally recognized tribal nations in the United States. And there are even more that are recognized at the state level. I think we have something like 106 just right here in California. And each one approaches spirituality differently. And even within a single tribal nation, there's going to be differences in how things are practiced. So that's why we're looking at a snapshot of Native American spirituality through the lens of Michael Garrett's book, Walking on the Wind, that Nancy told you about earlier. And he's a member of the Eastern Band of the Cherokee Nation, and in his book, he shares his personal experience with Cherokee customs and beliefs, and some of the common themes that can be found in many tribal traditions. And one idea that he shares is that in many Native American languages, there is not a word for religion. And that's because spirituality is ingrained in everyday life. The spiritual aspects of life are never separate from the physical. And I like that idea a lot. I think I could learn a lot from it. And I wonder how you and I might live our lives differently if every experience, every moment, every action was done in full knowledge that everything we can do can be an expression of the sacred. Well, this is one of the reasons why I love hiking in nature, because every time I do it feels like I am stepping into the sacred. Now, the truth is, we can find the sacred anywhere, simply by choosing to recognize spirit in all things. But something about nature makes this so easy for me. I know many of you have hiked with me on our spirit walks and have had those similar experiences. And if you haven't come on a spirit walk yet, well, our next one is coming up soon, and you'll hear more about it from Nancy today. We can find great peace when we realize our sacred nature by connecting with the circles of life. And Michael Garrett says in his book, Walking on the Wind, that well-being occurs when we seek to find our unique place in the universe and experience the continuous cycle of receiving and giving through respect and reverence for the beauty of all living beings. Finding our place in the universe, though, it's not always easy, is it? Especially in a world that's often suggesting not all living things are deserving of our respect and our reverence. You know, I remember growing up and how I was taught that certain kinds of people couldn't be trusted, how they weren't deserving of respect, and they certainly weren't to be revered, and I suspect that I'm not alone in this. And if you're still working on undoing this idea like I am, well, then the center is the right place for you. But what has that kind of an attitude brought to the world? Certainly not the kind of harmony and balance that Cherokee spirituality suggests can be achieved when we recognize and honor the Spirit in all things. In fact, there's a story that shows what can happen when we move beyond balance and into excess. And it's a traditional Cherokee story that was recorded in the 1880s by the ethnographer James Mooney, who lived with the Eastern Band in North Carolina and learned it from a Cherokee medicine man named Swimmer. And it was published in the Smithsonian in 1900 in a collection called Myths of the Cherokee. And here is a paraphrased version. There was a time long ago when humans and animals lived in harmony. After a while, though, the humans began to multiply, and they would hunt the animals to excess, even needlessly, for no reason. So one day, the animals held council, and they decided to afflict humans with disease. But the plants, who were still friendly to humans, they heard about this plan, and so they resolved to counter it by each taking on a way to heal disease. That way, the humans could find their way back to harmony and balance whenever they learned to ask for it, by being in right relationship to the land, to one another. Now, this story, it shows how the idea of interrelatedness of all things is at the heart of the greater circle that Michael Garrett shares. That interrelatedness, it appears in some of the most celebrated Cherokee traditions that can inform our own science of mind teachings and practices. And one of those traditions that Garrett shares, that he says holds great meaning, is the talking circle. He writes that talking circles are a reflection of an approach to living that treats everything as important in the greater circle of life. And they're also a way that Native Americans can recognize that oftentimes the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Now, in the talking circle, participants seek harmony and balance by sharing their concerns, their stories, their prayers, sometimes even just being in the silence together. And this is facilitated in a way to ensure that respect is maintained. It's a way that everyone's voice can be heard. Relaxation is invited in the beginning through music and chanting and drumming. And when it is time for the sharing, the talking stick is passed around, following a ceremonial clearing way to open the way for good medicine to enter into the circle. Now, you may have heard of this kind of a circle before, and that's because this ancient sharing format, it's been adopted far beyond just Cherokee traditions. You know, I remember when I participated in a very similar circle as part of a discussion group to heal racism. Now, the topic in this group, it was understandably sensitive, and I knew it was even more so sensitive for me, given that I was walking into it as the privileged white cisgender male. But here's the thing, in that group, there were no taboo topics. In fact, openness was encouraged. It was one of the goals of this group, because we knew that we weren't going to be able to bring healing to the things that needed to be healed if we just didn't know about them. So over the course of months, I heard stories about racial abuse that broke my heart. I learned about the quiet ways that racism can show up in the world, including ways that I had, without even knowing it, perpetuated that racism. But what I learned most of all was that despite the deep pain that we explored together, underneath it all was a shared desire to find our way back to love and connection, to find healing. So I left that group feeling a deep love for everyone who participated, and boy, I felt loved myself. I felt seen, I felt heard. Now, we practice this kind of sharing here at the center. One thing that I really appreciate about how Dr. Edward has developed our leadership style in our community is that every month, did you know, our board of trustees come together simply to dialogue. There's no set topic in these dialogues. It's simply a forum for those who hold our community in trust to share and to be heard. Everyone's voice is equal. And I've heard from many of our trustees how meaningful those dialogues have been for them. So I wonder where in your life you might find this kind of a circle. Now, we've got many opportunities here at the center, like our next round of Circles for Spiritual Connection that's going to be coming up in the fall. But you can create this kind of circle anywhere, simply by respectfully listening with genuine curiosity. Now, I think our world could benefit from more of these circles. That's because we've already seen that war and oppression, they don't work to bring harmony and balance. And just as we learned with Taoism last month, harmony isn't something that can be forced. It's something that has to be discovered by letting go of the need to control. So learning to listen without an agenda is one of the best ways that I've found to let go and let harmony present itself. And when I do that, that's when I get to discover my own place in that harmony. And you can too. Take a moment now and think about a time in your life when you really listened. Maybe it was listening to a loved one. Maybe it was simply listening to the subtle movements of life while you were out hiking in nature. Whatever it is, did you feel the harmony? Did you feel the balance? Was it easier to know your place as a valued and needed expression of life? Now, this kind of active listening, it's a skill, and I've been grateful to learn it from Dr. Edward. He's one of the best practitioners of it that I know. And it's one of the reasons why I feel like this community is my home. It's why I see the successes that our community has every single day. Because to listen is to give the gift of truly knowing someone, truly seeing them. And to be heard this way is to feel seen, to feel like we are an important part of the greater whole. Now, this kind of listening, it's not always easy. But when we can do it, it can bring big changes. And I've seen some examples of those changes and how both Dia Khan and Daryl Davis have worked to heal racism and oppression. Dia Khan, she's a Muslim filmmaker, and Daryl Davis is an accomplished black blues musician, and both of them spent time with KKK and neo-Nazi members. But they didn't spend their time yelling across a picket line condemning or berating them, even though I'm sure nobody would have blamed them. Instead, they worked to build relationships by listening, because they genuinely wanted to understand why somebody could hate people who looked the way that they did, who practiced faith traditions like they did. And here's the thing, something remarkable happened through their efforts to listen. Many of the KKK and neo-Nazi members that they interacted with ended up leaving those organizations. In fact, Daryl Davis alone has been responsible for directly and indirectly helping over 200 KKK and other white supremacists to leave hatred and racism. And Dia Khan's year filming and getting to know the leaders of neo-Nazi organizations directly led to 3 of their most prominent leaders stepping down and completely renouncing that ideology. All of this just from listening. The kind of listening that Michael Garrett highlights for us in his book. But you know what? It doesn't end there. They're not the only evidence. Some of you might recall stories about the Westboro Baptist Church and how it would picket funerals of members of the LGBTQ plus community. But here's another story, one that I find hopeful. Megan Phelps Roper, she's the granddaughter of the founder of that church, and for years she spread hate and intolerance as she had been taught to do. And in 2009, she became the church's Twitter voice online. And it's then that something remarkable happened. Now, it's no surprise that many of the responses to her hateful tweets were met with anger and condemnation, but there were also responses that shared genuine curiosity about her and why she believed what she did. A handful of the people who responded, they met her with patience, with a desire to get to know her. One rabbi gently worked with her scripture on its own terms to help point out its internal contradictions. People would even ask her simple questions about her day, how she was doing, how she was feeling. You see, Megan Phelps Roper, she'd been raised to be wary of this kind of kindness from strangers, raised to believe that it was a deceitful thing, that they were trying to take advantage of her. But because of the persistence of these simple efforts to listen and be kind, she and her sister left the church in 2012. And she's quoted as saying, "It was not isolation or hatred or cruelty that made me change. It was continued engagement, persistent, gentle, kind, compassionate engagement from people who believed differently." In fact, one of those kind and curious Twitter responders is now her husband. And she even wisely shares that listening is not agreeing, and empathy is not a betrayal of one's cause. So listening has power. It's one of the best ways that I know that I can step into that greater circle of life. Because when I do, it helps me to accept life on its own terms. I don't have to control life. I simply open my ears and I listen with my heart. I've also learned that this listening, it's something that can be done when we're alone. I'm here with you today because I took a chance and I listened to that still small voice, that friend within, that Ernest Holmes so beautifully calls that spirit that animates us all. And that's one of the reasons, too, why I love being in nature so much. Because something about hearing the wind rustling through the trees, the chirping of the birds, the gentle burble of the creek, all of these things make it so much easier for me to hear the voice of my heart. When I do, that's when I can see my place in that greater circle of life. Perhaps by stepping into nature, we're stepping into that greater circle of life in its most raw and authentic form. And it's in that circle that we have reflected back to us the gentle call of the Spirit within. I think that's what we really hear when we can listen without an agenda, without trying to control the outcome. Because no matter how dark the world sometimes seems, I know that when I can take the time to listen, I notice that Spirit always speaks to me from a place of love and understanding. And it's that love that brings healing, balance, and that restores harmony. It's that love that helps us to take one more step toward a world that works for everyone. And so this is my suggestion for you in the weeks to come. Go into nature. Find your own circles of life. Listen to what you hear, not just from the wind, but from the gentle whispers of your heart. Once you do, I suspect that you might just discover why a crow stealing your gummy bears can help you feel how deeply connected you are to this beautiful universe. So let's take that into prayer. How good it is to know that Spirit is right here, just as it is everywhere. This divine source, this divine presence, it is truly all that there is. It is wholeness, it is balance, it is harmony, it is peace, and so much more. And I know that I am a part of that we are a part of that sacredness, that beauty, it resides within us, and it expresses itself as us in this world. And so I know that we are wholeness, we are love, we are peace, we are harmony, we are balance, and so much more. I know that those qualities, they are in us infinitely. They are a wellspring upon which we can draw as much as we can handle. And so as we step forward into the greater circle of life, I open my heart, my ears, my mind to listen to all of the ways that this beautiful universe is speaking to me. Listening to the wind and the trees and the water, the animals, and the own whispers of my heart. I recognize the whispering of all of our hearts right now, knowing that as we open our ears to listen, it becomes easy to know our place in the universe and how we can share our life and our vitality in ways that bring about a world that works for everyone. How grateful I am to know that Spirit is here that it expresses itself fully and completely through me, through all of us. That Spirit is good, and I am grateful. And so I release this word into that divine law of mind, that divine circle of life that is always creating exactly what it has been given. I let it go, I let it be, and let us seal this word together by saying, and so it is. I invite us all to take a nice deep breath, breathing in, let out a big sigh. We use our breath to help us to make our transition to our practice of spiritual circulation here at the center. And this community is able to do the good that it is in part from the financial gifts that you share with us, with this whole community. It's what keeps our building going. It's what allows us to bring you all of the wonderful programming that happens throughout the year. So please know that we're very grateful. And if you choose to give financially, there are a number of ways that you can. You can give online on our website. Follow that URL, cslsr.org/donate. We also have text to give that I use myself because it's very fast and convenient. And today we'll pass the baskets. So I invite our ushers to stand and to hold this sacred space. And I invite you to hold your gift close to your heart as a symbol of your heart connection to this community, and repeat after me. I bless my gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does wonderful work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
Spirit, guide my day. Open my heart to live your way. Teach me to hear your voice. Open my mind to the freedom of choice. Spirit, guide my day. Open my heart to live your way. Teach me to hear your voice. Open my mind to the freedom of choice. Guide my day. Open my heart to live your way. Teach me to hear your voice. Open my mind to the freedom of choice.
Oh my goodness, I love that. Thank you so much. One thing I know about this community is that we are a book-loving congregation, yes? Yeah. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of books that I've read and loved, and that may be ready for a new home with someone else who loves books. Well, good news, we have an event coming up. It's called Sharing Our Books. Do you remember this from last year, anyone? Yeah, well, our social hall was filled with thousands of books, and there were people making new friends over gardening and history and paperbacks. It was so much fun. Well, good news, because that is coming up again on Sunday, August 2nd. Here's how it works. You bring in all of your well-loved books, and everybody else brings in all their well-loved books. And then a team of volunteers will sort them out. And on that Sunday, August 2nd, we will all be able to browse and dig through all of the books and take home as many as you like, whether you contributed any or not. It is so much fun. Now, I heard something that just recently, something special this year. As Dr. Edward prepares for his retirement, he will also be retiring books from his professional library. So those will be in the mix as well. You can bring your books to the center on Monday and Tuesday between 11 and 5 p.m. now through July 27th. Now, in addition to loving books, we also love learning and spiritual study. And we have a new education calendar out. And I'm certain that this keeps getting thicker every week. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. Some of them in the catalog have already started, but others are coming up soon, like the Conscious Recovery Workshop. That's next Sunday, July 19th. I just learned this. The big book that's used in many 12-step recovery programs originated around the same time as Science of Mind and many New Thought traditions. So it's really no surprise that there are a lot of parallels. And what if those parallels merged to support you and others in recovery? That's what you'll explore in this workshop next Sunday. And then there is a new take on mysticism with practitioner Anne-Marie Cheney, who gave us that beautiful prayer this morning. I love this. Anne-Marie says, anyone can have a direct experience of spirit, and she'll show you how. That class is coming up on Tuesday, July 28th on Zoom, and it's in the catalog. Next week, something new starts on Sunday mornings. You can join others in our spiritual community in a supportive, silent meditation. Now, meditating in community, I've discovered, allows us to deepen our connection to one another and to the spirit within. This one starts next Sunday also, July 19th, and will be every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. in our upstairs meditation room. Now, if you don't know where that is, when you go out of the sanctuary, you just look up, and there it is. And then to get there, look for the beautiful quilt in the social hall. The stairs are right around the corner. And for those of us who would like an elevator, that's right out to the right. So everyone is welcome to join that. Now, speaking of that quilt, our Project Sleep Warm group has a raffle coming up for that very quilt, and you can get your raffle tickets in the bookstore. All of the ticket proceeds go to buy the batting that goes inside those quilts that make them extra warm. That drawing is coming up on July 26th. Reverend Russ mentioned Spirit Walk. Well, that is coming up really soon. That's Saturday, July 18th. This walk will be at Riverfront Regional Park in Healdsburg, and you and your dogs are all welcome. These are really lovely events to get out in nature and just enjoy being together with a community of people who understand spirituality and walking go together beautifully. You are invited to sign up for that, and there will be carpool opportunities if people are looking for those. So that's on our website. Now, in just a moment, I'm going to introduce you to our nonprofit partner for July. But first, I want to mention that this is the time of year when we are invited, all of us are invited to nominate our favorite nonprofit organizations to receive support from the center next year. You know, since 2004, we have partnered with 258 organizations, all nominated by people in our community, like you. Who might you nominate? Well, if you volunteer for a nonprofit, or if you give financially to one, and you love the work they do in the world, that would be one to nominate. Or if you have received assistance from a nonprofit during a particularly difficult time in your life, you could nominate that organization. How do you do it? The nomination form is on our website, and you can also pick one up at the information desk in the social hall. The due date, oh, this is important, Sunday, August 2nd, so you just need to have it in by then. Now, I'd like to introduce our nonprofit for July, The Living Room, a collaborative community supporting women and their children during times of housing insecurity and urgent need. Let's watch their video now, and then on your way out from service, there are some representatives from the living room who you can meet and talk with, and you can also enjoy the latest collection of art on the walls in the social hall from Ms. Rosie and her daughter, Trina Fields.
It is crucial to have a place like the living room for women and children, to have a place to go during the day if they're staying at a shelter, if the shelter requires for them to leave during the day, to have a safe haven to come, to recharge their batteries, to talk to a case manager in order to maybe build, some future plan for housing, for connecting them with social services, etc., etc. The list is endless here. It truly is a safe haven for women and children.
They have provided, I think, 34 resources for housing, and that's quite a few, more than anyone else. Just anything you need, they have a daily list that you can go through of what you need. Everything, and whatever you need, they can help you with.
You don't know what's out there and what kind of help you can get. And if it wasn't for this place, I would be curled up in a corner somewhere crying because I wouldn't know what to do, and meeting sweet ladies and getting friendships going, it really helps to know you're not alone, that there is other women going through it, and together we're more powerful.
The love they have in their heart, it's priceless for someone who is experiencing trauma that goes with homelessness or the risk of homelessness. I can only imagine that, finding a place like this is absolutely amazing.
Their hearts are so real and so pure and so on their mission, and they're mission driven. It never wavers, So they have helped me. They're like, for me, it's my family, because I don't have my family in my life. And I think about them so much. The director is just phenomenal.
Thank you to the living room for the good work that they're doing. And as Nancy said, be sure to say hello to them on your way out today. It is time for us to bring our service to a close. But before we do, first I wanted to let you know that this weekend and this week coming, our teens are at teen camp. And they were able to go in part from the generosity and the love and the support from all of you, helping them to get there through their bake sales, through their individual sponsorships. So please know they are so, so grateful for all of the ways that you have loved them in these past few months. And you'll hear a little bit more about teen camp once they get back. All right. So if you have been having a challenging time, if you would like spiritual support, or if you'd like to just spend time with one of our licensed prayer practitioners to have them know the truth and the life and the vitality for you, please take advantage of our after-service prayer. You can head over to Karen over at the white table in the corner there. If you're in the room, she will direct you to one of our prayer practitioners who would love to pray about whatever it is that your heart desires. And if you're watching online, there's a link that you can follow for a free Zoom confidential prayer with one of our online practitioners. So please do take advantage of that before you go. All right, let us stand as we're able and repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it, just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Please know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you are guided, sustained, and empowered by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Thank you so much for being here. Let's close in song.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm